dough. And the reason that I'm doing this is because next week I'm doing an apple pie recipe, and I thought that if I put dough and apple pie into the same video, and if I had to make the dough in the recipe, it'd probably be a really long video. So I just figured I would split it up between 2 videos. So you're watching the dough recipe, and then next week there will be an apple pie recipe. So the first thing you're going to need is plain white flour, so that's just normal. You're also going to need white self-raising flour, so that's another usual thing. But then you're also going to need either sugar or stevia or some sort of natural sweetener. I opt for like a healthier version, so a natural sweetener rather than sugar, because I'm really trying to cut sugar out of my diet. So I prefer something like stevia, or this is my preferred one because it's the natural version. I wouldn't recommend equal just because it's full of chemicals. And then you will also need unsalted butter. This isn't actually salted, don't be fooled by the packaging. It's just that I've cut up my butter into little pieces, and I just use this container to put it in. So unsalted butter. You're also going to need 2 eggs, and then you'll also need some milk. So I'm using skinny fat-free milk, but whatever milk you like. Again, this is just like the healthier alternative. So we're going to start off by putting just under 2 cups of plain white flour in there. And we're going to be sifting it, of course. So don't fill the second cup quite to the top, leave a little bit of space. So about that, maybe a little bit more. And then sift that through. So now I'm going to go in with half a cup of self-raising flour. Ooh, that just came out really quickly. And so I'm going to sift that through. Now onto the messy bit. We're going to be taking our butter, and this has been cut up into smaller pieces, and it's slightly chilled, so it's not soft. So that's what we're going to need to, rub it into the flour. So this is kind of messy, but I just start off by putting a few pieces in. I gradually put them in. I don't just put them all in one go, otherwise I find it a bit too difficult. And then you're just going to want to rub it into the flour. So this is a pretty basic thing, but yeah, it takes a little while, and I definitely recommend when you're doing it to do it at a little bit higher above the bowl so that it incorporates air into the mixture. And air is good in a mixture so that we have a nice light and fluffy dough. So this is probably going to take a while. I'll probably just cut all of this out and come back to you once I've rubbed all of the butter into the flour. Okay, so I've finally finished incorporating all of the butter into my flour. So it is quite time consuming, but you're sort of looking for this consistency, which is like breadcrumbs. So now that I've done that, I'm just going to be adding 1/3 of a cup of sugar, or I'm using stevia, just use whatever sweetener that you're using. And then just mix all of the sugar in to combine. Now you want to get a bowl and your eggs, and then crack your eggs into the bowl. Now just whisk the eggs with your fork. And then combine a dash of milk into the eggs. Now take the egg mixture and just pour it all over the rest of your dry mixture. Now taking a knife, we're going to start cutting the wet mixture into the dry mixture by just doing this. Now take your wooden spoon and use that to do the rest of the job. Laying out 2 pieces of cling wrap, you're just going to want to take your mixture and divide it into 2 balls. You want one ball to be slightly larger than the other. So this is the larger ball, and I'm just going to place that on one of the sides of the cling wrap. And then I'm going to get the rest of the mixture and put it into my smaller ball, which is going to go on the other side of the cling wrap. Now we're just going to wrap up both of the balls in the cling wrap and then place them in the fridge. So that's the first one, then the second one. And so these are just going to go into the fridge. Okay, and so that is how you make dough. The reason that I have a larger one and a smaller one is because I'm going to be using this to make apple pie, which will be up on my channel next week. So I'm just going to go continue on and make the apple pie recipe, but that is how you make the dough. And so that is the end of my recipe. I really hope that you guys found this helpful, and try out making your own dough because I definitely recommend it. It tastes so delicious. I know it's a little bit of extra effort, but it is definitely worth it. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed. Don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll talk to you really soon in my next recipe, which will be my apple pie. Bye everyone.